Wow, that's such a cool idea to build. Today we will team up with JJ to build our best building. Let's learn how to build a modern RV house.
Mikey has already started building. I hope he doesn't have time to mess up. I'm going to run and build our modern RV house.
I always begin with the front of the RV because it acts as the face of the entire vehicle. Just as architects often design the main facade of a building to create a strong first impression, vehicle designers pay special attention to the front end. It is the area people notice first, and it often determines whether the whole design feels modern, sporty, or practical. Using white concrete for the body immediately gives the RV a clean, contemporary appearance, while iron trapdoors add thin mechanical details that ordinary blocks cannot reproduce. These narrow metal elements imitate vents, protective panels, and decorative trim that are commonly found on real recreational vehicles. By starting with the hood and bumper, I establish the proportions that every other section of the RV will follow, ensuring that the finished house on wheels feels balanced rather than stretched or compressed. Next, I install all 4 wheels using black concrete and begin shaping the driver's cabin with white concrete and black stained glass. Wheels are much more than decoration because they determine how large and believable the vehicle appears. Designers usually compare the diameter of the wheels to the height of the body to create the right visual proportions. Oversized wheels can make a vehicle look powerful, while smaller ones often give the impression of efficiency or compactness. Black stained glass works especially well for the windshield because its dark tint resembles modern automotive glass, which is designed to reduce glare and improve passenger comfort. Even though Minecraft cannot reproduce real curved windshields, combining glass with carefully placed concrete blocks creates the illusion of a streamlined cabin. Good vehicle design is often about suggesting smooth shapes with simple geometry instead of copying every real-life detail exactly. To complete the front section, I install an iron door with a button as the main entrance. Although an RV is a vehicle, it also functions as a home, so the entrance deserves as much attention as the front door of a house. Designers of recreational vehicles constantly balance mobility with comfort, creating spaces that are secure while remaining easy to access. An iron door reinforces the idea that this is a safe traveling home, while the button represents a compact locking system that fits the modern aesthetic. One interesting aspect of RV design is that every square meter has to perform several functions at once. The entrance cannot simply be practical. It must also fit naturally into the exterior composition without interrupting the clean lines of the vehicle. By finishing the front section with a clearly defined doorway, I begin transforming what looks like a truck into a fully functional modern home on wheels. As I continue extending the body of the RV, I introduce stone brick stairs alongside the white concrete to give the exterior more architectural character. One of the defining features of modern design is the combination of different materials that contrast without competing for attention. White concrete provides large, clean surfaces, while stone brick stairs create subtle horizontal lines and recessed edges that prevent the walls from looking completely flat. Architects frequently use similar techniques by combining smooth plaster with natural stone or concrete panels to give buildings greater depth. Stairs are especially useful in Minecraft because they soften transitions between surfaces and create small shadows that make the structure appear more detailed throughout the day as the lighting changes. Even though these additions seem minor, they significantly improve the realism of the RV by making its walls feel layered rather than built from a single repeated block.
Rather than working on the vehicle immediately, I decide to improve the space around it by creating an outdoor gathering area. Modern RV living is about much more than the vehicle itself. People often travel specifically to spend time outdoors, so the surrounding campsite becomes an extension of the home. I build detailed headlights and a front grille first to give the RV a polished appearance, then shift my attention to a cozy campfire area. Using a nether block beneath the fire allows the flames to burn continuously, making it ideal for decorative campsites. Stone brick stairs form a protective border around the fire pit, creating the impression of a purpose-built seating area instead of a simple fire placed on the ground. Nearby, I add a small table made from spruce trapdoors and decorate it with a creeper head, giving the campsite a playful Minecraft identity. This kind of environmental storytelling is common in architecture and landscape design because thoughtfully arranged outdoor spaces encourage people to gather, relax, and interact. By designing the campsite before returning to the RV itself, I make the entire project feel like a complete holiday destination rather than just a parked vehicle.
As JJ focuses on making the campsite more inviting, I continue refining the RV itself by adding white concrete stairs and slabs throughout the body. Large vehicles often appear bulky if every wall is perfectly flat, so builders use thinner elements to introduce depth without changing the overall dimensions. Stairs and slabs are especially valuable because they allow edges to become smoother and transitions between different sections to feel more natural. Modern vehicle designers rely on this same principle, using subtle curves and layered body panels to improve both appearance and aerodynamics. While Minecraft cannot reproduce true curved surfaces, carefully alternating full blocks with slabs and stairs creates a convincing illusion of flowing lines. This technique also helps light interact with the build in more interesting ways, producing small highlights and shadows that make the RV look far more detailed from every viewing angle. By patiently refining the shell instead of rushing ahead, I ensure that the finished home on wheels will feel sleek, contemporary, and thoughtfully engineered.
Before helping with the RV itself, I decide to improve the seating area once more. The original wooden benches are practical, but replacing them with padded banquettes made from wood and white carpets immediately creates a more comfortable atmosphere. Outdoor furniture designers often think about visual comfort just as much as physical comfort. Soft-looking materials naturally make a space feel more welcoming, even in a game where every surface functions exactly the same. White carpets also tie the seating area into the overall color palette of the RV, creating a stronger connection between the vehicle and the campsite. Rather than appearing as two unrelated builds, they now feel like parts of a single, carefully planned environment. Small adjustments like these often have a surprisingly large impact because they improve the harmony of the entire composition instead of drawing attention to one individual object. Once the campsite feels complete, I begin adding the fine details that make the RV believable. End rods, levers, glass panes, and iron bars may look insignificant on their own, but together they create the impression of real mechanical equipment. Professional model makers often say that the smallest details sell the illusion because they encourage viewers to believe that every larger component has a purpose. End rods can resemble modern exterior lights or slim support poles. Levers suggest utility controls, glass panes imitate narrow windows, and iron bars work well as protective rails or structural reinforcements. None of these additions dominate the design, yet they quietly increase its realism. Modern architecture frequently follows the same philosophy, where carefully chosen fittings, railings, lighting fixtures, and trims complete the project without distracting from the building's main form. While Mikey concentrates on completing the rear section of the RV, I decide that the campsite deserves a second outdoor living area. One of the biggest advantages of traveling in a modern recreational vehicle is that life is not limited to the interior. In fact, many RV owners spend more time outside than inside whenever the weather allows. Because of this, professional campsite designers often divide outdoor space into separate functional zones instead of treating it as one large empty area. One place might be designed for relaxing beside a fire, while another is intended for dining or cooking. Creating different activity zones makes even a relatively small campsite feel much larger and more organized. Rather than simply placing furniture around the RV, I think of the surrounding landscape as another part of the home's architecture, ensuring that every area has its own purpose while still feeling connected to the vehicle. The centerpiece of this new space is a lightweight canopy supported by iron trapdoors and slender rods, with alternating white and black carpets stretched across the top to imitate a modern awning. Along the front edge, I hang 5 matching black and white banners that give the structure movement and personality. Shade structures are an important feature of real recreational vehicles because they dramatically increase the usable living space without making the vehicle itself any larger. Many modern RVs include retractable awnings for exactly this reason. In Minecraft, carpets and banners perform a similar role by suggesting fabric despite being rigid blocks. The contrast between the white and black elements also reinforces the clean contemporary style. While the repeating banners create rhythm across the front of the canopy, designers often repeat shapes at regular intervals because the human eye naturally interprets repetition as order and intentional planning. With the shelter complete, I transform the space beneath it into a comfortable outdoor dining area. A large grill becomes the main attraction, while a long wooden table encourages players to imagine friends or family gathering together after a day of traveling. On both sides, I build benches using different white concrete blocks, creating seating that feels integrated with the overall architecture instead of looking like temporary furniture. Outdoor kitchens have become increasingly popular in modern residential design because they extend the living area beyond the walls of the house. And the same principle works perfectly for an RV campsite. Instead of treating the exterior as leftover space, it becomes another fully functional room without a roof. This thoughtful planning turns the campsite into a destination of its own, where the vehicle provides accommodation while the surrounding environment offers places to cook, eat, and relax in comfort.
With the ground floor taking shape, I begin expanding the RV upward by starting the second level and adding a side balcony. Building vertically is one of the smartest ways to increase living space without making the vehicle unnecessarily long. Although real recreational vehicles are rarely this tall, modern tiny houses and luxury mobile homes often use lofts and split levels to make the most of every square meter. The balcony also changes the appearance of the build by breaking up the straight walls and giving the upper floor its own identity. Architects frequently use projecting balconies to create depth and prevent large facades from looking flat or repetitive. Beyond their visual appeal, balconies also strengthen the connection between indoor and outdoor living, allowing people to enjoy fresh air without leaving the comfort of their home. By extending the second floor beyond the main body, the RV begins to feel less like a vehicle and more like a compact piece of modern architecture that simply happens to have wheels.
As the second floor grows, I begin constructing its walls primarily from white concrete, while introducing small sections of gray concrete to create contrast. Modern architecture often avoids using a single material across every surface because subtle variation helps define different parts of a building. Gray concrete works as a secondary accent, breaking up the large white walls without overwhelming the clean, minimalist style. This restrained palette is common in contemporary homes, where neutral colors allow the geometry of the building to become the main feature. Instead of relying on bright decoration, the architecture itself becomes visually interesting through proportion, texture, and carefully placed accents. One of my main goals is to soften the shape of the second floor by rounding the corners wherever possible. Minecraft is built entirely from cubes, yet experienced builders constantly look for ways to reduce that rigid appearance. By combining full blocks with stairs and carefully offset sections, sharp 90-degree edges begin to feel smoother and more refined. This technique is widely used when recreating modern vehicles because real RVs rarely have perfectly square corners. Rounded edges improve aerodynamics in reality, while in Minecraft, they simply make the design appear more realistic and elegant. It is a great example of how thoughtful block placement can suggest curves without ever leaving the game's grid. To finish the exterior, I install black glass panes as the windows across the second floor. Glass panes are much thinner than full glass blocks, allowing them to resemble modern tinted windows more convincingly. Large, dark windows have become a signature feature of contemporary architecture because they create a strong contrast against light-colored walls while visually connecting the interior with the surrounding landscape. In this RV, the continuous bands of black glass also reinforce the horizontal flow of the design, making the upper floor appear sleek and lightweight despite its size. Together with the rounded walls and restrained color palette, the windows help transform the second level into a modern living space that feels sophisticated from every angle.
After taking a short break, I return to the project and shift my attention from the exterior to the inside of the RV. Designing the interior requires a completely different way of thinking because now the focus is no longer on appearance alone, but also on how people move through the space. 'Space. One of the first things I build is the staircase connecting the ground and second floors. Glass panes are much thinner than full glass blocks, allowing them to resemble modern tinted windows more convincingly. By combining full blocks with stairs and carefully offset sections, I Architects often describe staircases as the backbone of a multi-level building since they organize circulation and influence how every room is experienced. A poorly positioned staircase can make even a beautiful home feel awkward to navigate, while a well-planned one naturally guides people from one level to the next. In a compact structure like an RV house, this becomes even more important because every block counts. By carefully placing the stairs, I ensure that the interior remains open, practical, and easy to explore without wasting valuable living space. With the main connection finished, I complete the floors of the second level and continue by building another staircase leading to the future third floor. Floors do much more than provide a surface to walk on. They divide the interior into functional levels and create the foundation for every room that will be furnished later. Professional architects usually solve circulation before decorating because furniture layouts depend entirely on how people move through the building. By planning the route all the way to the top floor in advance, I create a continuous flow between every level instead of treating each floor as an isolated space. This approach also makes the interior feel larger than it really is, since players can naturally discover one area after another without interruptions. Even though the decoration will come later, establishing a logical internal structure now ensures that the finished modern RV house feels like a thoughtfully designed home rather than a stack of disconnected rooms.
The final floor is where the modern RV house begins to separate itself from an ordinary vehicle and resemble a piece of contemporary architecture. Instead of placing it directly above the second floor, I shift the entire volume slightly to the right. This technique, known as offset massing, is widely used in modern architecture to create buildings that feel lighter and more dynamic. When every floor is perfectly aligned, the structure can appear heavy and predictable. By offsetting the upper level, the building gains visual movement and creates sheltered spaces beneath the overhang without increasing its footprint. Many luxury homes and modern hotels use this idea to produce striking silhouettes while making the architecture feel less rigid. Even in Minecraft, where every block follows a grid, a small horizontal shift dramatically changes how the entire structure is perceived. Rather than surrounding the third floor with solid walls, I make most of the exterior from black glass panes. Large glazed surfaces have become one of the defining characteristics of contemporary residential architecture because they maximize natural light and strengthen the connection between indoor and outdoor spaces. In a traveling home, expansive windows also make practical sense, allowing occupants to enjoy changing landscapes wherever they park. Glass panes are particularly effective because they occupy less visual space than full blocks, making the upper level appear lighter despite being built on top of two existing floors. The contrast between the bright white concrete and the dark glazing further emphasizes the clean geometric style that has been developing throughout the project. On one side, I construct a fully glazed loggia that extends the living area while remaining protected from the weather. A loggia differs from a traditional balcony because it is integrated into the building rather than projecting completely outward, making it feel like an outdoor room instead of simply an exterior platform. This concept has existed in architecture for centuries, but modern designers often reinterpret it using large sheets of glass and minimalist structures. Above the loggia, I install iron trapdoors that resemble slim architectural sunshades or protective awnings. To complete the roof, I use white concrete for the main surface and finish the edges with gray wool carpets. Although carpets are thin decorative blocks, they work surprisingly well as roof trim, creating the impression of narrow metal flashing while visually separating the roof from the walls. Small finishing details like these often determine whether a build looks complete or unfinished. Before moving inside, I return to the rear of the vehicle and add the missing wheels from black concrete. It might seem unusual to leave such an important feature until the end, but experienced builders often postpone repeating symmetrical elements until the main body has reached its final dimensions. This prevents unnecessary rebuilding if the proportions change during construction. Time for the interior design. With the exterior complete, I shift my attention to the inside of the RV, where functionality becomes just as important as appearance. Before placing any furniture, I carefully remove unnecessary blocks and add missing ones to improve the internal layout. This stage is surprisingly similar to what happens during the final phases of real construction projects. Architects often revise interior partitions after the main structure has been completed because walking through the space reveals opportunities for better circulation. A hallway that looked wide enough on paper may feel cramped in reality, while a doorway might need to be repositioned to improve movement between rooms. Minecraft builders face the same challenge. Large decorative exteriors can easily hide awkward interiors if no time is spent refining them. By adjusting walls, floors, and openings before decorating, I make sure that traveling from one level to another feels smooth and intuitive rather than forcing players through narrow or inconvenient passages. On the ground floor, I begin constructing the RV's driving area by combining dispensers, levers, and a chair into a convincing control station. One of the most enjoyable aspects of Minecraft building is giving ordinary blocks completely new purposes. A dispenser no longer looks like a machine for shooting arrows, it becomes part of a dashboard. Levers resemble switches for lights, engines, or other vehicle systems, while the chair naturally becomes the driver's seat. Industrial designers often simplify complicated control panels by arranging related controls into logical groups, making them easier to understand at a glance. Although this RV cannot actually be driven, organizing the controls in a believable way encourages players to imagine how the vehicle might function. Small details like these transform a static build into an environment that feels interactive, allowing viewers to picture themselves sitting behind the wheel before setting off on another adventure. It is time for some furniture. In the remaining section of the first floor, I create a cozy living and sleeping area by placing a bed, a bedside table, a lamp, wardrobes, anvils decorated with leaves, armor stands equipped with armor, and bright red carpets across the floor. Every piece serves a purpose, helping the RV feel like a real home instead of an empty shell. Interior designers often divide compact homes into functional zones rather than separate rooms, allowing several activities to take place within the same space. Decorative elements such as plants, soft lighting, and colorful textiles also play an important role because they make even small interiors feel warmer and more welcoming. The red carpets introduce a strong accent color that contrasts beautifully with the neutral white walls, while the armor stands suggest that the owner is always prepared for the next Minecraft adventure. By combining practical storage with comfortable furnishings, the ground floor becomes a space that feels both efficient and inviting. The upper floors are designed so that each one serves a completely different purpose, giving the modern RV house the functionality of a full-sized home despite its compact footprint. On the second floor, I create a quiet entertainment and study area with bookshelves, an enchanting table, a television, and a comfortable sofa. This level becomes the perfect place for both relaxation and preparation before heading out on new adventures. Upstairs on the third floor, I install kitchen cabinets, storage cupboards, a dining table, and chairs, turning the highest level into a bright cooking and dining space surrounded by expansive windows. Modern residential architecture often separates homes into activity-based zones, allowing each floor to support a different part of everyday life. Following that philosophy, the RV evolves into much more than a vehicle. The first floor focuses on living and driving. The second encourages learning and leisure, while the third provides everything needed for cooking and sharing meals. Together, these carefully planned spaces demonstrate how thoughtful interior organization can make even a mobile home feel spacious, comfortable, and remarkably complete. Great, our modern RV house is ready. Subscribe and like, bye-bye. Hello everyone, dear friends. The weather is just wonderful outside today. I wonder what adventures await me today? What? I think Mikey's coming to me. Mikey, it's open.
What do people do when they want to travel, but at the same time, they don't want to lose their home?
In that case, they're buying a motorhome.
I have just a great idea, JJ. Let's build a house on wheels today.
Wow, Mikey, the idea is really great. Okay, I agree. But first, let's welcome our dear viewers.
Of course, JJ, go ahead.
Hello, everyone, dear friends. We have a challenge in Minecraft. We will build House on Wheels today.
We will have 3 rounds in total, and you decide who won in the comments.
Are you ready, Mikey?
Of course, JJ.
Then we're starting. Round 1. For the first round, I will need blocks of cobblestone, concrete, and terracotta. I'm starting construction. To begin with, I put blocks of black concrete to make the wheels of my house on wheels, and then I build the lower part of it out of cobblestones. I put blocks of white terracotta on top. And then, just blocks of terracotta, these will be the walls of my house. I put blocks of white glass in front. I build blocks on top. And now I build the sides of my house on wheels. Great, one side is ready. Now I'm finishing the back. Putting blocks of cobblestone on the bottom. And also putting terracotta. Finally, I cover the voids with terracotta blocks. It looks cool. From the inside, I put the missing terracotta blocks. Make the wheels of my house on wheels from black concrete on all sides. And on them, I put frames with wheels. I also add important details to the front. Now I place levers and signs for decoration. Put a door at the entrance. Inside, I'm building a white terracotta floor and making a place to control the whole structure. It's time for furniture. I put up wooden blocks and beds with ladders, stoves, an armor rack, chests, a brewing stand, and a cauldron of water. I broadcast the painting on the wall and the armor on the rack. On this side, I also make a window. Put bookshelves and an enchanted table. For decoration, I used anvils with foliage and pots with cacti. Great! My house on wheels is ready! I wonder how Mikey's doing.
Meanwhile,
That's the first round. I need to do my best. I'm starting construction. Great! The first round has come to an end.
Wow! Mikey, you've got a great house on wheels! Well done!
Thanks, JJ, but I can't wait to see what you've built.
Follow me!
Wow, JJ, what an amazing house on wheels you turned out. I like it.
Thanks, Mikey. I am very glad that you liked my building. Round 2. For the second round, I will need blocks of wood and cobblestones. I'm starting construction. To begin with, I put blocks of cobblestones and build a wheel of my house on wheels out of them. I'm building the foundation of my house out of bricks. I put blocks of wood on top. I'm finishing another wheel of my house on this side. I'm building up the voids from below. And building another wall on this side. I also build the same wheels on this side as on the other side. I'm starting to build the top of my house out of bricks. I make beams for the next floor using blocks of wood. I build up the sides with blocks of wood. On this floor, I also build walls out of blocks of white concrete. As on the last floor, I put blocks of brick on top and put a wooden fence on them. And now I'm building up voids in the ceiling. I build up windows with blocks of glass and build a floor. Complete the roof. I am building a staircase in front of the house. So that it is convenient to enter the house. On this side, I build up the wall with wooden steps. I'm doing the same thing with this wall, as well as this one. From above, I close this room with blocks of bricks and earth. Here, instead of a window, I will make a passage to this area. I also put a door. Now, it's time for me to get into the house. I put the missing blocks of wood, as well as the door. For decoration, I use a wooden fence and bricks. At this point, I limit the site to a fence. Inside, I cover the ground with blocks of wood. Make a passage here. Finally, completely build up the roof. Put a ladder and a hatch. It's time for furniture. I put a bed, a bedside table, and a lamp, anvils with foliage for decoration. bookshelves, and an enchanted table. A cauldron with water and a brewing stand. Racks for armor with armor. I'm putting a red carpet on the floor. I need to get to the second floor. I need to make a climb to the roof and put a hatch. I also put stoves, chests, and a workbench here. And I plant flowers on the balcony. Great! My house on wheels is ready! I wonder how Mikey's doing.
Meanwhile,
In the second round, I need to build even better than JJ. I'm starting construction. Great! The second round has come to an end.
Wow, Mikey, what an amazing house on wheels you have turned out! Great!
Thanks, JJ, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you've built.
Follow me.
Wow, JJ, you've got a great house on wheels. Just amazing.
Thanks, Mikey. I am very glad that you liked my building. Round 3. In the third round, I will use a special command to quickly build my house on wheels. Wow, he's so handsome. It feels like this house was created for the life of some aristocratic travelers. It's so cozy inside. A little messy, but it can all be fixed. Great, my house is ready. I wonder how Mikey's doing.
meanwhile,
In the third round, I need to give my best. I'm starting construction. Great! The third round has come to an end.
Wow, Mikey, you've got a great house on wheels. Well done.
Thanks, JJ, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you've built.
Follow me.
Wow, JJ, what an amazing house on wheels you turned out. I like it.
Thanks, Mikey. I am very glad that you liked my building. Well, I think it's time for me to finish.
Yes, JJ, I think it's time to go to bed. Bye-bye.
Good night to you. Thanks for watching, friends. Subscribe and like. And also, don't forget to click on the bell so that you don't miss new videos. Bye-bye.